Yes, sir. So not too long ago, I made a video about Kendrick Perkins and his response to the Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor situation, going into a clubhouse conversation with some pro-blacks, Pan-Africans, whatever they were, and explaining why he didn't say what they expected him to say. But the thing is, when you talk to pro-blacks and everybody that has emotional ears in this era today, they have a short-term memory loss. They have the mentality of, what have you done for me lately? They're narcissistic and they don't care about what you have done in the past. All the times that you have said, yes, I can do it. They only think about the times that you said, no, I can't make it. I'm not able to. Selfish individuals. They don't remember about Kendrick Perkins when he was sitting there on this network defending Chauncey Billups and Jason Kidd about the situation, about them getting hired and the backlash that they received from being hired. We're talking about a network where Stephen A. Smith, a quote-unquote black man, is the face of your network, face of this television show, and he preaches for black players, black coaches. Why aren't there more black coaches? And then on the flip side, this is the same network, same television program that's going to talk up here, that's going to slander these same black men that just got hired for NBA coaches that Stephen A. Smith preaches and boasts for. How does that make any sense? So I'm basically putting this video out there to show the pro-blacks and everybody, you can't win every situation. Just because y'all forgot that Kendrick Perkins was just defending a black man. Matter of fact, two so-called black men a couple weeks ago, y'all want to talk about Kendrick Perkins as a coon now and all these terms and whatnot just because he didn't talk about Maria Taylor and Rachel Nichols, a situation that has nothing to do with him, a situation that happened a year ago. ESPN has known about this for a year. So whose problem, whose business is it to talk about? It's the employer situation to handle, because it's two disgruntled employees that is involved in a rat race fighting for one position. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Let's check it out.
Now, along with Billups' hire, Jason Kidd was named the head coach of the Mavericks last Thursday. Now, both have amazing resumes. However, off-court issues have led to questions surrounding their hires. In 2001, Kidd was arrested for suspicion of hitting his wife and pleaded guilty to spousal abuse. Then in 2012, he also pleaded guilty to a DUI. Billups, on the other hand, settled a civil case in 1997 when a woman alleged that he and his former teammate Ron Mercer raped her. Criminal charges were never filed, but according to police reports, a rape kit examination displayed injuries consistent with sexual assault. The Blazers have looked into the matter again before hiring Billups, and they were able to not really drop anything new. But Perk, you got to look at all of these factors. Are these hires a bad look for the league, would you say?
We got to understand that she's reading off of a teleprompter, so the ESPN executives okayed this message. And on the flip side, we have to understand that Chauncey Billups also worked for ESPN. So how hypocritical can you be? You stir up this drama. You try to talk about this drama for what? What is the message being sent? And what is your agenda? What is your purpose on slandering Chauncey Billups that used to work for you? Are you trying to discourage the fact that two black men got hired? Meanwhile, Stephen A. is on here every other day, every other week, preaching for black men to be hired. So what are you trying to say, ESPN?
No, it's not. You know what's a bad look?
If you or a loved one is fighting type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, this discovery could save
In the NBA to be. No, it's not. You know what's a bad look? In the NBA to be writing these articles at this time. That's what's a bad look. Because guess what? When Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups, when they were the product and they were put on the shelves and they were selling out and they were making money and they were around here delivering championships and making all-star games and selling out jerseys and signing autographs, everything was all fine and dandy when you...
It's always fine and dandy when you're making your bosses, employers, and everybody else that's involved in the situation more money, because not for nothing you are a stock option in this country and whatnot. They view you as stock. So when you're high, when you're making everybody so much money because you're a high commodity piece, selling out jerseys, selling out tickets, you're going to the finals, you're the finals MVP and whatnot, you're getting nicknamed Mr. Big Shot. Jason Kidd is out here getting triple doubles. Everybody loves him and whatnot, but now they want to bring up his past because they got chosen over Becky Hammond.
Product. Now all of a sudden, when two African Americans have learned from their mistakes, And when I'm talking about Jason Kidd, he learned from his mistakes. He had 2 head coaching hires since then. He was an assistant coach with the Los Angeles Lakers, won the championship. Nothing was said. This man has changed his life. Rick Carlisle endorsed him. Dirk Nowitzki endorsed him. Not a word was said. And when you look at what Chauncey Billups has done, all right, finished his a hell of a career, assistant under Ty Lue, worked on our network at ESPN and was a hell of a commentator, did a hell of a job. Should have been a GM in my eyes instead of being a coach because he's that great of evaluating talent. That's how special he is to the game. But soon as African Americans can take that leap and get in place of power, this is when it all starts to come out. This is when these writers want to start bringing up people past, like everyone don't have a damn past. I'm pretty sure we all have something that we done when we were younger that we wouldn't do again. Now, I get it. If with Jason Kidd's situation, if he was a repeated offender, and it was something that he was doing time and time again, okay, I can see that. But this man has grown from that. Chauncey Billups wasn't accused of anything, no criminal charges. Let it go. Let these people get their jobs that they deserve and move on.
Well said, Perk. And like I said, people don't remember this. They have a short-term memory loss just because you sat there and you just said that what you know about Rachel Nichols and shit. Not to digress. Everybody loves to bring up your past. They want the so-called black man to always remember about his past and things. They don't want you to move forward. They always want you to think about the negative shit in your life. Meanwhile, you're trying to get over those situations. They don't want the black man to be encouraging young black boys to do for self. Try to get yourself in this workplace, then eventually get out of it and try to be your own boss and things like that. These dudes only worry about what can you do for me, and then when you can do for self, that's when they want to throw shade at you. That's when they want to bring up your past. That's when they want to say you ain't shit and like shit like that. When you fellas are in a bad relationship and things like that, and you moved on and you got yourself a better girl, now here comes your ex and all the other girls of the past. They want to talk shit about you. They want to say that how you used to try to be in their DMs and whatnot. Well, those girls, if you was in their DMs, they should have answered, right? Now you moved on. Now they want to throw all types of shade at you and say that you're a bad individual. Fuck it. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, I think that it's a different question of whether they should get the jobs or if it's a bad look. Like, I do think it's a bad look because particularly in Chauncey's cases, he was up against Becky Hammon, and it's a particularly bad look for the NBA, which is considered the most progressive.
Now, these are the type of black men that get in these media positions, that get on TV screens and say dumb shit like this. And these are the type of black men that a lot of people want to call a coon, house Negroes, and have a big problem with because they are, quote unquote, sellouts. For this man to get up there and read a teleprompter, like I said, they're not coming with this. It's not an improv situation to where they're just talking off the dome. They are reading off of a teleprompter. For this man to go up there and read this as a black man and say that this is a bad look for another black man. Matter of fact, 2 black men that have had something happen in their past that they have gotten over, had numerous opportunities, have a family, are making progress in this world to be a better person. For him to be there and sit there and try to slander this man, he's pathetic. And there are people like this that try to slander another black man in their workforce and whatnot to try to have a better relationship with their boss, shucking and jiving and licking boots. Man, this dude is a joke. Dominique Foxworth. This guy says he hates Josh Allen's fans because they love the American flag.
A major sports league that we have, at least major men's sports league that we have in this country, and for them to and for two hires of guys who have been accused of mistreating women or sexually assaulting or hitting women, for them to get hired and Becky Hammon not to get hired, I don't see how we can argue that it's not a good look. And that doesn't mean that these guys never deserve to work again or that they need to continue paying a price for some.
Ain't none of them listening to her bark. Like Becky Hammon, no disrespect, wasn't no stud when she was in the WNBA. She was barely a sharp shooter when she was playing with Teresa Weatherspoon. I remember. I tried to tell people I used to watch the WNBA. Not so much as of today. Becky Hammon wasn't a star like that. Why are they pushing Becky Hammon so much? They don't understand. Just like I said, she has an argument with a player because coaches and players have arguments all the time. Somebody records it. Now they want to slander this man because he doesn't respect women. He doesn't want to work with women. She needs to go get a job in the WNBA. Why aren't y'all pushing her to the WNBA? She's not going to get hired out here because dudes do not want to listen to a damn woman in the heat of the moment. No disrespect.
They've been accused of or pled guilty to in Jason Kidd's case years ago doesn't mean that they can never rebound from that, but we do have to acknowledge it. And it's a story that whether it comes out now or comes out later or came out earlier, it's a story that's not going to go away. Like, it's going to stick with these guys for their entire careers. And I think I had a group text about this situation with a couple friends of mine over the week, and one of the things that came out of that I think was important and we should highlight is that the country doesn't really, and in Chauncey's case specifically, like our country, the judicial system hasn't figured out how to properly deal with sexual assault. And for the NBA, for us to expect the NBA to figure out how to do it is asking a lot. And we can go back to the previous president was accused of many different...
What the hell does that have to do with these hires right here? This dude, he's talking with a still face, like he's so uncomfortable reading off the teleprompter what he's saying. He knows that it's not right. I don't understand how a lot of people that are like this individual, he reminds me of that Mark Lamont Hill. How do you guys sleep at night? How drunk do you have to get so you can go to sleep? Because you can't be sitting right. Your soul can't be right. Saying the shit that y'all say. Bunch of liberal bullshit. Y'all pushing this energy for the woman to be just in control of men, a league that's predominantly made of black men. Y'all want a woman head coach in there.
Sexual assault incidents, and that didn't disqualify him from getting that job. So I'm not saying that that's the bar that we have to reach necessarily, but I am saying that I understand when guys or when anybody commits a crime or is accused of a crime, like there should be a process that we go through, which includes finding out or determining whether they are guilty or innocent, and then it also includes some punishment. And then when you come back from that punishment, then you are allowed to re-enter society and you're allowed to work again. It doesn't mean that you should be the head coach of a team or general manager of a team, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be. But all those things need to take place, and I don't think that's a failing of the NBA. That's a failing of our judicial system more than anything else. But it does, I mean, to get back to the original question, it does look bad today to have that as one of the headlines.
Yeah, but Dominique, look, the situation that happened with Chauncey Billups happened when this man was 19 years old. That was almost 30 years ago. And then he wasn't found guilty. It wasn't like he had you could go Google his criminal record and it's on there. Nothing happened, okay, at the end of the day. But you know what's even more disrespectful when we talk about being disrespectful to Becky Hammon, the women of the world? You know what's more disrespectful is that people are putting this out about Chauncey Billups when he have a wife and 3 daughters. How about the disrespectful stuff in that? When people are writing these articles about him that is false because he was never accused in the first damn place. That's disrespectful.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. I don't appreciate, I'm sure Chauncey doesn't appreciate it, but like the facts are the facts. Like the accusations were there. They brought up the accusations, and I don't think that is disrespectful. I didn't use the word disrespectful. Like, I don't think it's disrespectful to Becky Hammon or disrespectful to anybody. I just think it's a bad look. And whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. It's about the optics of the situation. The question is, does it look good or does it look bad? It looks bad for a league that prides itself on being progressive to have a woman in the running for the job, whether she deserved it or not. I'm sure she deserves to be a head coach at some point. It looks bad to deny a woman a job and then hire 2 men who are being accused of violent acts against women. Like, it looks bad. It doesn't mean that. Go ahead, Perk.
But man, listen. At the end of the day, J. Kidd had 2 jobs. He was with the Nets. He was with the Bucks. He got hired on with the Lakers. Nobody said a damn word. And at the end of the day, it's not about men or women when you're talking about hiring for coaching. It's who's better fit for the job, who the people want, who the coaches want, who the organization want. Damian Lillard said for the Portland Trail Blazers when asked, he wanted either Jason Kidd or Chauncey Billups.
That's fine. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. And I like Chauncey Billups. I know him a little bit personally from Denver, and I liked him, but I don't know him well enough to know whether these are real or fake. But you brought...
If you don't know him well enough to know that these are real or fake and whatnot, why are you speaking about the situation then, Dominique? Why are you reading off the teleprompter? Why are you putting yourself in this position to even talk about this if you don't know Chauncey like that? If you know that he used to work there, you want to say that as a bad look. How could you say all these things if you don't know him? How could you say all these things when he has not been charged? But y'all want to bring it up like the shit just happened last week. Make it make sense, ESPN. What type of message are y'all pushing out there? Do y'all want black men to be successful, or do y'all want black men just to rely on y'all, suck on y'all titty like some newborn? What's the situation?
Beginning of this, how unfair it is in part because they are black men. So I think you also understand that sometimes just because somebody wants to hire someone doesn't mean that they deserve the job. It's not an argument against Becky or against either of these guys or an argument for Becky Hammon, but just because somebody as a football player and someone who's been in the NFL, there's lots of black coaches who deserve to get hired. They didn't get the job because we fell back and we weren't critical of them. It's a whole nother conversation, but
What the hell is he talking about? Yo, people, you could tell the difference when you're watching this video right here. Who's speaking naturally and who's reading off of a teleprompter to be the little buck dancing fool. Now, like I said, Kendrick Perkins stood up and held his ground because he's talking about something that he has knowledge about. You can't compare that to a situation that has something to do with two employees and your boss, your employer, that has nothing to do with you. They put him up there with Rachel Nichols and Richard Jefferson because they are the co-stars along with Rachel Nichols in that show, and they obviously are going to say nothing bad about her. A lot of things be going on in people's workplaces, and they don't say a damn thing about it. People might got into something with the boss. People might have got mistreated. So on, and they just mind their business because it got a damn thing to do with them. A lot of y'all know these people, but then on the flip side, they want to talk about some pro-black nonsense because somebody didn't do something that they wish they could have the courage to do, but they don't. But it is what it is. Don't want to ramble too much, man. That's about it for this. But like I said, Kendrick Perkins, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know what I'm saying? 1 minute you get praised because you're standing up for Chauncey Billups and Jason Kidd. Then on the flip side, you're getting backlash because you mind your business because the media wants to turn it into a racial issue. That's about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out.